Just for the record.
Okay, Commissioner Anderson?
Yes, thank you very much. Since I won't be here on April 12th when the new commission is sworn in, I'll be in school. I wanted to share a few thoughts over the last 12 years here on the commission. I've been really fortunate to serve my hometown, where my family's lived for 53 years. I went through 3 tough elections, and I went 3 for 3. And they tested me, and they humbled me. In 2001, my mom and dad sat in those 2 seats in the front row. And they're no longer with us. And my son, who was 13, my son Peter in the front row, is now 25 and a PhD program in economics at the University of Chicago. I truly look forward to my life outside of the public eye. I graduate in May from my seminary at Andover Newton Theological School outside of Boston. And I hope to be ordained this year, working in hospice chaplaincy as my new vocation. And I'm no richer than I was when I started. I never took a cell phone, I never took a computer, I never went in the pension plan. And the last I checked in 2009, when I found out how much money I saved the city by not going into the pension plan, in 2009, it was around $90,000. As I look back over these years, I think they were really tough. And they were informative, and they made me who I am today and the person that is leaving today and also graduating from seminary. As a commissioner under Mayor Sleznick, we crafted issues together. We tackled tough issues. We bound by a common vision that we crafted together, and I encourage you to look at these documents, to see the common vision that we shared and that we crafted. These goals weren't spoon-fed to us by staff. We crafted them with care. And we certainly did not agree on a lot of things, and there were some really heated commission meetings. I remember them. But in the end, from 2001 to 2011, the pluses far outweighed the negatives. No one elected official has all the answers. It's a collaborative effort. You take the good and the bad. We're not a superhero. It's about public service, its residents and its employees. Garrison Keillor said it best. He said, politics isn't a story, it's a process. It's not about confrontation and threat and revenge and triumph. It's about civility. Most people in politics are there because they genuinely like people and want to do good things on their behalf. From 2001 to 2011, I'd like to remind those out there of the things we did accomplish, because there's been an attempt over the last few years for revisionist history in this Coral Gables community to erase the accomplishments of the commission of the past. Vice Mayor Kurdyk, you were involved, Commissioner Cabrera, and I, along with Mayor Sleznick. During that time, the historic infrastructure was improved. We refurbished the Merrick House. We redid the City Hall cupola, and it needs to be redone again, so I hope you'll take that again. Under the efforts of Vice Mayor Kurdyk, under partnership, we did a lot of fountains and plazas, didn't we, Bill?
Thank you.
Alhambra and Granada fountains, De Soto fountain, which was a particularly beautiful day. That's the fountain I used to drive by to school at St. Teresa. Lejeune and Miracle Mile, the restoration of the old police and fire station. The Biltmore Tower restoration. Country Club Prado, Country Club of Coral Gables, ADA ramps at City Hall, restored the roof at Miracle Theater, the George Merrick statue, and most importantly of all, we strengthened the historic preservation ordinance so that we wouldn't demolish historic homes without knowing. Transportation and parking, we did the Coral Gables trolley, which is still chugging along, and I remember the day that started, and we built the museum parking garage, which is serving our patrons in Miracle Mile. The 02 and 03 charrette brought 1,500 people in a planning process that was really outstanding, a community visioning process, and that was the impetus for the zoning code rewrite. The senior center, particularly nice thing, and a particular thing that I have taken great pride in shepherding, along with my colleagues on the commission. In 2003, we didn't really know, many people in the city didn't know that we had a senior center, or that we had a senior program or a senior coordinator, or if there were services. We did a survey, and then we put together a plan to market and develop plans for this. And now we're busting at the seams And thank God now we're going to be moving towards a senior center soon. In 2010, Commissioner Rebecca Sosa came up to me and offered to the city $5 million, I believe. I can't remember exactly. And I hope that we'll be able to use that towards that. And I know that the senior center is somewhere in the city, although I don't know exactly where. But I hope it's successful, and I hope that our elderly residents get to use it for the benefit of all. Now, this is the part that really, I became quite an expert during these years. So it was really interesting for me to hear this, that for 10 years, there was nothing but lamentations about the pensions. That one person came in and was Superman on pensions. Well, let me just tell you something. In 2000, the Commission of 2001-2011 did the heavy lifting on that one. In 1989 to 2003, I'm going to go over it in copious detail because people need to hear it. People need to hear the truth, because that's been sorely lacking in this particular building for quite a while now. The city had a non-contributory system for almost, 15 years. The city paid 100% of the employees' contribution. In 2003, we made it a contributory system, and 2 of the 3 unions came on board on it, and in 2009, the final union began to participate. That, in and of itself, helps to explain some of the unfunded liability that we did, but it's not the only thing. We capped overtime. Before, overtime used to be unlimited that could count towards retirement. We lowered that over the years. The unfunded liability, you know, back in the 1990s where everybody was happy and joyful and the stock market was going well, our assumption rates for the plan were 9%. And that forced the retirement committee to board to fix the investments into stocks. So when we got into office in 2001, the dot-com crash came, and then we had to make up the difference for all those years. And the crash, the heavy hit that our plan took, we had to take that, and that became part of our unfunded liability. But over the next 3 to 5 years, we lowered that assumption rate. And every time you lower an assumption rate, you take a hit. It's a good thing, but you have to take a hit. And by lowering it, it also added to that. In 2008, the housing market fell out, and we hit a recession, also affected performance, but probably not as much because we had moved wisely to fund it more equitably and safer economic financial instruments. I sat through 4 impasse hearings, 3 of us here have, and out of those 4, 3 of them have made significant progress in the reform, and over the long run will be effective in reducing the unfunded liability. But it's going to take 20 to 25 years to clear out the plan from its current retirees who have worked hard to do that. So to think that this is a quick fix or it's a one person wearing a super cape, do that, please don't do me that injustice, anybody, to any commission. I would not sully anybody's commission past, and don't sully this commission under the composition 01-11. Now, from 2011 to 2013, it sadly had not the same energy and camaraderie, nor the same initiative or self-direction to fashion commission goals, and that's really too bad. I'd hoped for better, I really did. I'm not a quitter, and I like to do things with people, and it didn't happen. To the employees, I hope that things get better for you here. It certainly can't get any worse in the claustrophobic and repressive environment that's been built up over the last 4 years. I value you, and I'm really proud of what you do, and I'm sorry I couldn't do more to make it better, but it takes 3 votes. In my eyes, you're not a piece of property or a statistic on an actuarial table. You are hardworking, dedicated, and loyal people who certainly deserve better. And I will keep you in my heart and in my prayers. Commissioner Cabrera, you pointed out something that was very important. We have 22 management positions making $2.8 million at the top of the payroll scale. We have directors on top of super directors, and God only knows there probably is going to be a triple super director at some point. But we have our sanitation folks that take a hit at 20%, and our senior managers don't share the burden of that. Where's the justice there? That's what's lacking here. It's lacking heart. Professor Frumkin, a UM law professor in Gables Residence, writes a very informative blog and has weighed in on several local election cycles. He writes about the December 12th commission meeting regarding the agenda item on crime. And I'm not going to talk about crime because there's why bother. It's gone down, right? And I agree with this assessment. And he writes, one other thing that comes out clearly from the H2 video is that the commission, at least by the end of a long hearing day, really is factionalized and is dysfunctional. Plus, the city manager really is out of line, making political statements from the dais designed to undercut commissioners. No wonder they don't like him, and it is likely mutual. I agree. For me, that's really sad. But that's just the way it is these days. I only hope the best for the future for my hometown, but I leave you with a bit of heavy heart. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank for the professionalism of our city clerk, Walter Foman, and our city attorney, Craig Lean. You have always been true professionals, and I will value you and wish you the best. To the residents and to the employees, best employees anywhere, I thank you for allowing me the privilege to serve you for the past 12 years. Godspeed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done, Commissioner. Well done. Well done.
Thank you. All right, we're moving to